Don, for all the work that went into getting us here tonight. So bear with me for a second because this is a relatively long resolution to read. 188-2020, consider ordinance number 1, 2020, authorizing the incurring of non-electoral debt by the issuance of general obligation bonds in a maximum aggregate principal amount of $10,500,000, covenanting to pay and pledging unlimited taxing power of the local government unit for the payment of the bonds, establishing a sinking fund and appointing a sinking fund for depository, fixing the form, maximum interest rates, maturity redemption, and other provisions for the payment thereof, authorizing the acceptance of a proposal for the purchase of the bonds, authorizing a filing of required documents with the Department of Community and Economic Development, ratifying and directing certain actions of the officers, and making certain other covenants and provisions in respect of the bonds. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 189-2020, consider ordinance 2-2020, approval of franchise agreement with Comcast through 2030. Really nothing changed on, if I'm correct, it's just updated. And if you remember a few months ago, we employed legal counsel in order to negotiate this with us, and nothing really changed. So if I have a motion,
I'll make a motion.
do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 190-2020, consider ratification of a contract with the Public Works employees for the 2021 through the years 2021 through 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Eric, did you say this? 5-0. 191-2020, consider 2021 option year with Waste Management for the collection of solid waste and recyclables. Our regular contract ends at the end of this year. We have 2 option years that we can add on. Don, Juice, and I sat down with Waste Management last week to review it. And it really just at this point, considering what's going on with COVID, people working from home, makes the most sense to option that. And then after we vote on this, I actually have something else I'd like to bring up with this board about this. So do I have a motion to option?
I make a motion.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
In conversations with them, they reminded us that as part of our contract, there's an option for a hazardous waste pickup. We hear often as supervisor, as board members, about TVs, paint, other chemicals that are kind of left or thrown over hillsides because it's not always easy to find places to dispose of those things. And I can, if you want to take a quick peek at this and pass it along, but it's a list of things that they would pick up, which just quickly includes pesticides, insect sprays, herbicides, rust removers, swimming pool chemicals, wood preservatives, used oil filters, vehicle batteries, household fluorescent tubes, chlorine bleach, drain openers, corrosive chemicals, lye, driveway sealer, hobby chemicals, lubricants including motor oil, transmission fluid, paint products, oil latex stripper, paint thinners, automotive cleaners, waxes and polishes, gasoline less than 5 gallons, automotive chemicals, antifreeze, brake fluid, consumer electronics, so TVs, computer screens, that kind of stuff. It's actually a separate number. You would not put it out on the curb, but for $1 a month for everybody, you can call it anytime, as many times as you want. They will send a specific truck. You can literally just leave it by your garage, on your front doorstep, and they will pick up anything. So if you're like a lot of people who we hear from, this is a huge service, and I would ask this board that we consider approving it just for this year. We can add it for a year, and then if we see that it's not used or people don't feel like it's a valuable service, we can then end that. But you know, with COVID, we weren't able. Supervisor Cecil does a phenomenal job every year of organizing that TV collection. With COVID, we weren't able to do it. What was it, 5 TVs off the side of Pond Road done? Yeah. They went out to look at a bridge on Pond Road. There were 5 TVs laying there. I saw some laying off of Glass Hill, so it's a good service.
I make a motion.
those in favor, say, or any questions before we go? All those in
No,
favor?
the only thing they,
I'm sorry?
they don't say.
Anybody, yeah, I'm gonna open it up to public comment. Anybody have any questions or concerns about it? So this would be $1 in addition to your regular garbage bill, but you can call at any point. Right?
Is that across the board, or is that when you use it?
No, it's $1 a month across the board. But if we do it for a year and realize, hey, that's not worth it, but for $1 a month, I mean, I spoke to somebody, I was just asking in the community, who he said he literally has 5 TVs. You could put all 5 out at once and get them out of your house. So, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 192-2020, consider the full release of financial security posted for the installation of private improvements for accessory building for Greg Sims property in the amount of $46,200 as recommended by the township engineer.
This is the Sims property. It's been so long since the board has seen this. But this is Comer Road, and this is the potential. They haven't been in for site plan approval of this. They only had approval to grade this property and put in the pond and create this little access road. That's all complete. In addition, they built a house up there too for their own residence. So this required a land development bond. I've done the inspection. It's complete and it's ready for board approval. It is back. It wasn't just a grading permit. It was a land development permit. So it needs board approval for release. So
What were they getting it for again? Wasn't it a building permit or something?
yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, they haven't built the building yet. Again, they'll be back for that.
I just want to make sure I remember the.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 193-2020, consider the third release of financial security posted for the installation of private improvements for the Casavich property Phase 2 land development from $78,898.75 to $57,398.75, a total reduction of $21,500 as recommended by the township engineer.
Yeah, this is the development that's at the old Cecil Elementary School. I got the picture up there. I had to take this in 2 pictures, but they were requesting not the full release, but just the release for the landscaping and the paving that's been completed. So in 2 pictures here, you can see that that's all in there, lighting is in. So I'm okay with the request for the release.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 194-2020, discuss the bids received for the Angular Road landslide repair.
So if the board recalls your direction after we received the bids on the wall, we had talked about the culvert as an alternative to the wall. So bids were taken again for number 1 for the wall again, with a distinct closure of the road and fixing the other things that needed to be completed there. So the wall plan is this plan right here. This is Anger Road running up and down on the page here. This would be the extent of the wall. There's also a need to put a storm sewer in along this location to address some other disturbances along the road here. So this is the wall. The low bid on the wall was Carmen Pagliato. It was about $283,000. The last bid received was about $337,000. So there was a savings between the bid on the wall between the first bid and the second bid. So that's number 1. The second project that was bid as an alternate method to this repair was to install a culvert. So if you can appreciate, again, here's Anger Road. This is where the disturbance is. We would come in and put a pipe in that would span this distance for the creek, and then we would put a buttress of fill against the road. So as opposed to out in the wall, you have earth and fill and then a pipe to carry the creek. There's an access road that needs built back here to get in and do the work. I've personally been out to see Bill Boyne twice. I I met with him again on Friday, walked it with him, confirmed that he is willing to grant the easement for this. And this project came in at right around $150,000. So there's a savings of roughly $130,000 to put the pipe in. There is more maintenance related to the pipe. He will have to be down here. Public Works will need to be here to clean debris out of here, keep this pipe open from time to time. But I can't argue with $130,000 worth of savings.
What size pipe?
It's only 36-inch concrete. It's going to be concrete,
And how long is it?
about 100 feet. And we have obtained DEP's approval to get an emergency permit to put it in right away. We have to follow up with a permit that just requires a general permit. So it's all doable.
Is the pipe a long-term solution though? Is it?
It's a long-term solution for this piece of the road. Unfortunately, if you look at Anger Road, you see these tight little bands here of lines. That means it's very steep. It's almost like a sheer wall. So the distresses that we're seeing along this road are because the creek and the road were so close together. The creek gets very close to the road in this area. That's why we need to do this project now, because we're losing the road. Over time, the creek could continue to cause distresses down here, and that would be the end. You couldn't take a pipe any further. You'd have to put a wall in beyond this point. So, I mean, is it a long-term solution? Yes, for this immediate area here, but this pipe couldn't be extended any further. That's the maximum length of pipe that the DEP will let you enclose a stream.
But so are you saying that you see in the future us having to put a wall farther down?
I'm hoping that we don't ever have to, but if there are any further distresses along here that would require anything, they would have to be repaired with a wall.
The whole thing would have to be repaired with a wall, like where we put the
Just
pipe in?
any distresses, I mean, it might be.
I guess my concern is, like, initially the pipe was not the recommendation, so my concern is that we're gonna spend $130,000 only to find out that that didn't solve the problem, and now we still have to put the wall in.
Well, no, let me just go back. The reason why the pipe was never considered an alternative was we had to go, this had to be done. We didn't have a Boyan's approval, nobody talked to Boyan. It came up as a question after the fact because of the cost of the wall. Could there be an alternative to do this? We talked to Boyan said he would be agreeable to the easement. That's why we came up with this plan. Again, I mean,
I'm not blaming you, Mark, at all.
no.
And I don't-
I'm just saying, I'm just giving the sequence. I mean, because of the cost of the wall, the thought was, hey, walls are expensive, walls require maintenance too. Is there a cheaper, better solution if we get some ground off of Boyan? And made the call to him, and he was agreeable to it. And he would prefer this because he would rather look at an earthen slope that can be grass and green as opposed to a wall. That's his benefit to this Boyan. That's why he would give us the easement. It's really useless ground to him, so he has it's this creek and floodplain, so he couldn't use it anyway. So it's viable. Again, I'm not against it. If I'm Public Works, I don't like this because I have to maintain a pipe that's well off the edge of the road. If this gets blocked up, I gotta send guys down there to open this up periodically.
Trees or something with branches?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, it's a large distance to the top of the hill, so there would be expected to be debris that comes down here from time to time. I mean, it's very clearly that could happen.
How much dirt are you looking at bringing in?
It's about 4,000 or 5,000 yards long. I mean, jet jack's a little bitter, so it'll be fun.
Huh?
It'll be fun.
Dan, Cindy asked, we could spend money and have that fill, the money we would spend would end up being down stream. It's not that the pipe's gonna fail and that road's gonna slip up there. It's
Thank you.
not gonna get that clear, that
Yeah.
No, I understood.